So today we're at KFC because they have a new menu addition. They did a collab with Mike's Hot Honey. I feel like this was a foregone conclusion. Somebody was going to do it in one of these chicken places, but they have 3 different ways that they're serving this in $7 combos. It starts at all the way up to a $25 big back box. It's the same thing that used to cost $20, and I think they tried to get over on that, but that's not what we got today. We got the 3 different ways that it comes in. The first one is right here in the $7 combo. This is really just an embarrassing amount of honey. This is the laziest amount of honey I've seen. It's on there. I don't know if you're even going to be able to get the amount of honey that is on here, but it is a very negligible amount. I mean, guess we kind of knew that was coming, but that's why we're here to do everything new. Drop a thumbs up and you guys already know the vibe. So this is the tenders combo. These are the 3 you get for $7 with a biscuit and a side. There's no drink that comes with these. I don't know why they don't not add drinks to this. That part's depressing. Also, the amount of honey on this is also depressing. It's on there. It's just not a lot. Again, they don't sell it extra from what I saw in the app. Maybe you can ask them for extra, but I don't know if they're going to give it to you. And the third one is the Mike's Hot Honey chicken sandwich, which just has Mike's Hot Honey on it. There's nothing else on this. There's no mayo. There's no spicy mayo. It's just the Mike's Hot Honey, which I have a feeling that's not going to work. But I'm not trying to come across as cynical. I promise you I'm not. I'm just giving a genuine reaction to me opening this. It's the first time I'm seeing this, so if you're new to the channel, my reactions are as genuine as it gets. This is not me trying to, like, dunk on KFC. From the looks of it, it looks like crap. I'm sure most of you guys are saying that at the screen at the same time anyway. For the sides I got their mac and cheese. When I got there, they had fries that were in the fryer. It said it was going to be another 5 minutes, and I don't really care because I'm just trying to try this anyway. So I said, just give me some whack and cheese. And then I got some gravy because, you know, we like to dip gravy here with our chicken. So that is what's on the agenda today. Let's start out with, you know what? It's right in the middle. Let's start out with the chicken sandwich. See what we got. You can see the Mike's Hot. By the way, my new camera, I don't have to get as close. So sometimes I'm like throwing the food in your face and I don't realize that I don't have to extend my arm like I used to because it's a little more powerful. So I used to be this close. Got to back up just to about here. So you can see it just a little bit. There's not a lot. Hopefully it at least tastes like Mike's Hot Honey. You can taste it, but I don't know what they were thinking. Just putting the Mike's Hot Honey and nothing else, because it's a little dry. It's a little dry. Now you can add your sauces, do what you want to it. Maybe that's what they were hoping you do. We're going in with the gravy. You never dipped your chicken sandwich in gravy? You should start. That works. That works. The sandwich is crispy. This is not a badly made or a poorly made sandwich. It's just, I wish there was more of it on here, but I also don't feel like this Mike's Hot Honey is as hot as the regular one. And I'm not talking about the extra version. I'm talking about the regular Mike's Hot Honey. But that could just be a psychological thing because they didn't use enough. So if I was eating this and I was just trying to get down, I would add some hot sauce or something like this because I want more heat with my honey. That's a personal preference. You may not. But is the taste there? Absolutely. But we're going to move over and about face over here to, let's do the thigh. I prefer thighs to drums as it is. So there's your thigh. A little bit of Mike's Hot. It's just not a ton. I feel like they could have done so much with this. When you look at the pictures from the promotional thing, it's like covered in honey. This might be a location-based thing, so don't hold me to it, but I just don't feel like they added enough personally. I don't know if they're like telling them, as far as the employees, how much they have to actually use. Sometimes we do that, but your guess is as good as mine. Gravy. And I got chicken skin too, ain't no... A little bit of this whack and cheese. I've tried so hard with that mac and cheese. It's just not for me. The chicken is, again, it ain't moving the needle for me. This is all one take too. This is complete honesty. One take. All right. This is the most amount of hot honey I've seen so far on these tenders. There's also some that kind of ran through here. My pick in order. I would go with the chicken. I would go with the sandwich. And then in the last place, it's the tenders. Let's try a biscuit. This is a waste of biscuit. So this is a waste of calories. But let's do it anyway. Into the gravy. I'm going to offend so many people because I know some people swear by those biscuits. I'm just not a fan of them again. I always try them just for the one time, but overall, I feel like this was something that was an absolute slam dunk of a collab, or at least a layup or a finger roll. And they was on a fast break, and they pulled up from the three-point line and bricked it. I all day I said, there's no way this is going to be, man. I mean, you have one of the most popular brands in the honey game right now, and a good chicken chain. And it's just, this tastes to me just like regular KFC with honey. Like, it's okay, but when you have a big name in a collab, it didn't land. I am by no means saying that this is gross. I just think that, let me show you something. So look at this picture. Okay, look at the picture and then look at what you just saw in this video. I understand they're going to make food look better with food styles. Look at the amount of honey, look at the color of the honey, and then look at this and look at the color of the honey and tell me it just doesn't look like regular chicken with a hint of just regular honey on it. Now, the signs are all over the KFC that I'm at. This is supposed to be their version of Mike's. You know, they didn't say we don't have any when I ordered it, nothing like that. So if this is what they're serving to people on a nationwide rollout, this is an astronomical flop for what it's supposed to be. I don't know what other creators are saying. I haven't seen a single review. All I'm giving you is what I got here today. And what I got here today was 3 boxes of disappointment. I could have stayed at the crib and just put some regular honey on this. Again, I'm not saying it's trash. Like, I'll eat it. It's just, for what it could have been? Yeah, no. And for that reason, I'm out. Do I think you should get this? If you're in the mood for KFC, why not? Other than that, no. Don't go out of your way. Now, this is something that I touched on before, but I saw an article coming from the Wall Street Journal. Tipping has gone down to 19.3% on average, which is the lowest that it's been in 6 years. I don't feel like necessarily that is a bad thing or that crazy of a thing, but I feel like it's more framing from the article. But I just wanted to talk about tipping in general. The reason that they cited that it went down, again, 2019 was 6 years ago. We all know what happened in 2020, so they're probably, with the amount of people that ordered on these apps and things, people just got tired of it. That's one part, in my opinion. And the other thing that they said, and I've talked about this in my videos a bunch, is there's a lot of growing things with companies that they expect to tip for almost everything at every facet of restaurants. Even growing up, I'm not necessarily against tipping. I am a tipper myself. I tip a lot at most restaurants that I go to. But I always thought it was more of something that you did for a sit-down restaurant. But now, as a person who's an avid user of apps, when I get Chipotle, when I get any of those types of things where it's a takeout, where I just been coming in, you know, you're handing me my food and I'm out the door, they put tipping right into the cost. And a lot of times it's actually more than what you're expecting to tip. So it's like 25%, 30%, and it's like automatically put on. You have to actively look to see if you're paying a tip or not. And that's at places like Starbucks. That's at places like McDonald's. They're like, oh, you want to tip our team. And I don't necessarily think that you shouldn't tip if you don't want to, but expecting it from a place that is a to-go place to me is utterly ridiculous. I do tip, but I do it more because I'm, you know, the person that orders a lot of food. And not to sound like I'm cool, but I can at this point, because for me, the food is an expense and the tipping can be put in that. I don't have a point or a problem in doing that. But the average consumer, with the cost of food and what it costs now, to expect a tip on top of it is like, didn't you include that in the factor that you charged me $20 for a burrito bowl? Or $7 for no drink? Because when I went to order my KFC today, they put the tip right on. I was just going in there with you know, there's a kiosk in KFC. So I'm using the kiosk. They put the tip right on the kiosk. And I'm like, who am I tipping? The kiosk? Or the people in the back? This is coming from a standpoint of understanding where everyone's coming from and the growing discontent. I completely get it. And I'm a person who actually does tip. But if you're charging me $7, you can't even give me a damn drink for not enough honey. So it's just gotten to the point that all these companies, in my opinion, have tried to squeeze as much money out of the consumer, and the bubble is going to burst if it hasn't already. I don't think it has. I think it's very close to it. I talked about this in other videos with these private equity firms. Some people didn't understand what I was talking about, equity firm. They thought I was like talking about equality and equity aren't the same thing. I hope most people know that. Private equity firm is just a group of people who collectively own a business. They're buying a business more or less to maximize profits for the shareholders. That's what it is. It's nothing to do with anything else. Just so you know. But, you know, that's their job now. They're trying to maximize profit. So they say, how much can we squeeze out of this? So it wouldn't surprise me if they do dilute this hot honey so to make sure that they can stretch it as far as possible. And if it does well, they'll stretch it even more. If it sells well, they'll stretch it even more. Because in reality, this meal is a KFC meal that they've had already that was $5. You know how I know? I signed a brand deal last year to do it. The $5 meal was the 2 chicken with a side and no drink and a biscuit. And now it's $7. What, you tell me it's $2 worth of hot honey on here? And the box that they had was $20 last year, and now it's $25. It's like, I feel insulted almost with this kind of stuff, but I just wanted to talk about it, and what do you think? So on top of all that trying to squeeze money out of us, you're also expecting us to pay your employees, not you. That's where I draw the line somewhere. You get what I'm saying? Like, rant over. We'll be back, man, tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts on it. Of course, always, we can have different opinions, but keep it respectful to myself as well as the people in the comment section. I love discourse and dialogue as long as we're respectful, and I respect y'all. Please respect everybody else and treat each other with kindness, but we'll be back tomorrow. More content, man. The hand signs, they made it to YouTube.